These are the fields, the pathways and the mountains. Morris and his men, and before him, Jacob Marengo, traversed with his troops, accompanied by women and children. Their names are but memories held dear by those who are of age. They too remember their narrative only as told by their grandparents. Warmbad, Heiragabes, Karasburg, Ugomas are places where between 1903 and 1908 many historic events unfolded and formidable uprisings and resistance by indigenous people against the invading forces were recorded. The history of the people of Morris, although not well known among Namibians, is well recorded in the memory of the Bondelswart people with their own historians. Not much is named after the heroes of the Bondelswarts people, as well as not many national monuments declared in their area as a remembrance of the heroic fights of Morris and Marengo fighters. Many would not know the historic significance of this area and the monumental efforts played by men who lived here a century ago. Joseph Roy, known by his people as K-Meester Roy, is a resident of Gabes. He has a small office just a few meters from his house. Old historical newspaper clippings of the atrocities carried out by Germany and South African regime hang in his office. His first words are, "They were men of prayer, so let us start with a prayer." He then describes Morris and Marengo as fearless, brave warriors of the Bondelswart people.
Abraham actually both their spirit was, "Until I die, I will fight for the land of my mother. Until my last days, they were fearless and stubborn."
In the vast region is a small settlement, Heiragabes, the seat of the Catholic Church in the Karasburg constituency. About 10 households call this place home. A few meters from one of the households is this well taken care of grave. The residents say 2 German soldiers are buried here in the same grave. They died during the time when Germany waged war with indigenous population. On the mountain top at Heiragabes is this makeshift table from stone, with 8 rocks carefully placed around it. It withstood over 100 years of adverse weather forces.
The Germans would gather here. This was their meeting point. From here, they would plan their next attack on the Nama people.
After the peace treaty was signed at Ugomas, some 70 kilometers from here, the Bondelswart fighters were asked to surrender their weapons at this historical building, which now stands abandoned. Germany's occupation of Namibia was accomplished through military conquest of numerous African groups in the country. The Kwekwe were among the last to be subdued. Emil Seibeb, NBC News, Heiragabes.